Hello viewers, welcome to Mythology. In this video, I will update you with the answers for the sixth set of questionnaire set under the brilliant scores in biology assured for the ICSE examination. It's an objective type question paper of 40 marks, each subpart containing 5 marks. Now we start with the first question, which is name the following. So it's meibomian glands that are present at the base of the eyelashes. For the second one, it is the potometer, which is the instrument used to measure the rate of transpiration. Then the aerosol sprayers are the ones that deplete the ozone layer. The Origin of Species is the famous book of Darwin published in the year 1859, and the dominant feature of human hair is the curly shape of the hair. Next we have the set of terms where you have to find the odd term and find the category for the rest. The first case is pernicious anemia and the category for the rest is genetic disorders. The second part is lungs, which is the odd term, and the rest of them fall under contraceptives. The third is the use and disuse, which is the odd one. The rest of them are included under Darwinism. Then it is the promignon, which has nothing to do with the human evolutionary stages. The last one is lymph, and the rest of them are included under the non-circulating fluids. Question number 3, you have to find whether the statement is true or false. And if the statement is false, you got to correct the statement by changing the last word. So the first statement which is given is false, that deafness is caused by the rupture of pinna is false. Here pinna is the word which is the wrong word in place. It should be, the sentence should read as deafness is caused by the rupture of tympanum or eardrum. The second sentence is also false. The correct statement should be the solvent that dissolves chlorophyll is methylated spirit or methyl alcohol. The next statement is also false. This is, when corrected, it should read as after ovulation, the remnants of Graafian follicle turns into corpus luteum. Comes to statement D, that too is a false statement, and the corrected statement reads as an anticoagulant present in human blood is heparin. And the last statement, that camptodactyly is a dominant feature, this is indeed a true statement. You must mention false or true and then correct the sentence. For question number 4, there are the terms which are given in groups, and in each of them they make a first pair which indicates the relationship between them, and you got to complete the second pair on a similar basis. So in the first case, cytosine is to guanine. You need to write guanine. The B part, small a and capital A, this denotes heterozygous condition. C, it is fetus is to fetal membrane. For fetal membrane, you can also write chorion and amnion. Part D, nucleus is to karyokinesis. And for part E, it is ear is to cochlea. Although the organ of Corti is the perfect organ of hearing, but with eye it is retina, so the entire part. That's why with ear it will also be cochlea. Then we move on to question number 5. Here, these are the food chains that need to be written in a sequential form. So the first one starts with a herb which is eaten by a caterpillar. Caterpillar is eaten in turn by the frog in turn by a snake, and the snake ultimately is eaten by an owl. For the second one, we begin with fertilization, followed by uterus, followed by implantation, followed by gestation, and finally parturition. You may note that implantation and gestation can also alternate their position, which two would be taken correct, because gestation is the entire period from fertilization to parturition. For the subpart C, it is pinna, followed by malleus, followed by incus, then stapes, and finally cochlea. Then it comes to G1, followed by S, then G2, M phase, and finally cytokinesis. The last one is soil water, then it goes to root here, then it reaches the cortex, then it goes to endodermis, then it reaches the pericycle, and finally it goes to the xylem. This is actually the route of the movement of water in a plant. That is actually the direction of movement of moisture or water in a plant. Next, we have the case of matching, where you have to match the terms under column A with those in column B. The first one is Cushing's syndrome. This is to be matched with the hypersecretion of adrenal cortex. Then it comes to the BS6 norms, which is meant for the population control. So it needs to be matched together. Then it is diabetes mellitus, that is hyperglycemia. Then we have the cochlea to be matched to spiral shaped. Then the last one is seculus, which maintains the static balance. There were few extra terms given under column B. You can either place them down and not match with anything, rather put a cross on the side of column A, or you can just leave them, only make the perfect pairs together, and it needs to be followed up in the way of a table itself, and no shifting under column A. The shifting is only done for the terminologies or the statements which are under column B. Then we move on to the next question, where you have to choose the perfect answer from the given options. It is like an MCQ question. The main nitrogenous waste produced by human is urea, and the mineral element which is present in hemoglobin, that is iron. Then we have few more questions in under this itself. Let us see what they are. So we come on to subpart C, which is the urine is carried from kidney to the urinary bladder by ureter. Then we have the number of chromosomes in the spermatids are 23 because it's haploid. Then the statistical study of human population is called demography. Here in this case, if you just put the numbering with the statement that comes on the top. That is not the perfect way of, taking the options correctly. So you are supposed to write the number of the option along with the term which comes with it. Only then it becomes an obvious scoring point. Otherwise, you fall at the mercy of the teacher whether you should score or you should not. Then we come to the last one, which is a question with a diagram. Here in the diagram, there are certain labelings to be done, and then we have certain following questions which too needs to be answered. You are not required to redraw the diagram at all. So the first question under this, you have to name the type of gland which is shown here. This is an endocrine gland, and you may pull it out to write that this is the thyroid gland. The next is to label the three parts. Part 1 is the Adam's apple or the larynx. Part 2 is the left thyroid lobe. And part 3 is the connector, is the isthmus. That is the connector of the two lobes or the isthmus. Any one of them would be perfect as a answer. But in this case, again, let me tell you, if you do not mention when the lobe is given, is if it is left or right, then again you fall under the mercy of the teacher. Subpart C, name the secretion of the gland which regulates basal metabolism. This is thyroxine. Then the disease which is caused by the hypersecretion of thyroid, that is exophthalmic goiter. And lastly, you got to mention the exact location of this gland. So in that case, you have to write it is in front of the neck, just below the larynx in the human body. So here we have answered all the questions given in this objective paper. It is necessary that you follow the time schedule. Do not utilize more than 40 minutes for the objective paper, because in the final paper you would also have a subjective portion. I hope you liked my video. If you find it useful, do not forget to share it with your friends. And if you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Thank you once again for watching.